Paper was like gold in medieval times.
Oh, not tobacco, sugar.
That everything we thought we knew about the world might turn out to be completely wrong.
This is Luxor on the banks of the Nile, and I'm surrounded by ancient temples, ancient ruins, and ancient crops, some dating back as far as the pharaohs. And I want to know how all that history influences the food of modern Egypt today. I love Middle Eastern food, but I do know I've still got a lot to learn. Wow, they are sweet, aren't they? So I'm on a journey through bustling cities and lush farmlands. And from glittering coastlines to harsh desert landscapes. If the scorpions or the snakes come, you can see they've been here already. To discover how so many communities have thrived here. 400 breads a day. Yes, you guys are busy. I'll be showing familiar favourites. It's never too late to learn how to make hummus. And sample new flavours. It's like the best kebab I've ever eaten in my life. And I'll be using that inspiration in dishes of my own. Well done, me. This time I see how the Egyptians put the fast into fast food. The speed is incredible. I meet a flame-throwing baker. Whoa! Well, from now on, I think I'm going to change the way I clean my barbecue. And I make my most appetising dish yet. They look a bit shriveled and as if they're no good to anybody. With less than 1 centimetre of rain a year, Luxor in the centre of Egypt is one of the driest cities on earth. But thanks to millennia of irrigation from the River Nile, it's a lush, verdant oasis perfect for agriculture. Sitting amongst 4,000-year-old temples, it was once known as Thebes and hailed as the ancient capital of Egypt. It's now the perfect place to explore some of Egypt's most traditional foods. So at the start of this adventure, I want to know about the ancient foods of this country. And I hear that there's something called fool, which is eaten for breakfast all around Egypt. And there's even suggestions it was around at the time of the pharaohs. Fool's main ingredient is the humble fava bean. Once used as an offering by the pharaohs to the god of the Nile, they are still a much-loved ingredient in Egypt today. I'm meeting Ahmed, who I've heard has the fastest hands in the West. Morning. Bank of the Nile. Hello.
Hello.
Can I have some breakfast?
Okay.
Yes?
Yes.
Okay, fantastic. So there's this massive pot, and in this pot is just beans and lentils being cooked for hours, apparently. Almost the texture of chili con carne, but there's no meat in it.
Salt.
Salt,
Lemon.
cumin,
Chili.
chili,
Lima.
tahini,
Olive.
and a little bit of oil.
Olive. Lemon.
Lemon juice. So he's made this sort of basic fool by the looks of it in the pot, and now he's seasoning every single portion himself. And you can see he's mixing it really well to make sure all that seasoning gets through the whole thing. More tahini,
Olive.
a bit more oil, chili, cumin. And I have that with bread, yes?
1, 2.
Our pickles, good. Chopped salad. There's breakfast. Look at that. Breakfast of champions. Or maybe it's the breakfast of kings.
Beautiful. Beans beautiful.
It's beautiful. That's really cool. On top of this fool, this very, very simple bean puree, there's lemon, there's tahini, there's cumin, there's salt. It's fantastic. I mean, properly fantastic. 10 and 5, 15. Yep.
Thank you.
Thank you. 15, about 70p. Thank you very much indeed. Thank you. Thank you. See you later.
Bye-bye. Thank you.
Today, Egypt is one of the world's biggest producers and consumers of bread, a love affair that dates back thousands of years. It turns out the ancient Egyptians were also master bakers. I have been fortunate enough to be invited into somebody's home to learn about leavened bread. It's said that it was first ever made here in Egypt, and the tradition lives on. It looks like it might be the right place. Hello? Hello? John. Look, the thing is, we have a language barrier, but we're just I'm gonna follow. We're gonna see what happens. Hello? Hello? Wow. You're tiny. Wow. Oh. Oh, hello. Hello. How are you? I didn't really expect to be handed the baby. We're going to learn about bread today, aren't we? We're all going to learn about bread. Yeah. Oh, another one. It seems to be. I feel like the Prime Minister. How you doing? The human side of John Torode. I've got 4 little ones already, so I say let's make some bread. What's the name of the bread?
Shamsi. Hey, Shamsi.
Shamsi.
Ayo, Shamsi.
What's Shamsi? This. Shamsi means sun. Is that right? In goes the flour. See, it's all bubbling. That is active yeast. This is what we would call a starter. It contains flour, water, and most importantly, yeast, which makes the bread rise or become leavened. You see, the bread's being folded over, then picked up and slapped. This is proper hard work. This is a special moment for me. As a cook and a lover of food, I am watching bread as it was made here in Egypt centuries ago, the birthplace of leavened bread. And I'm watching it here amongst this. The blue skies, the open, and this amazing home with a family. How lucky am I? That's it?
خلصت.
Yeah? Tired now? Okay. The dough is shaped into balls and scooped onto round boards. This is a production line. Let's go and see where this goes to. Come on. This way, come on. Oh, look at this, look. This is quite an incredible thing because there are sheep grazing, there's farmers working, there's farmland. This is as green as green as green, and this is Egypt. So this bit that's left over here in the bowl is for the next time bread's being made. So by keeping it like this, the yeast stay active, and once the liquid's added to it, up it goes like a huge balloon. The loaves are left out in the sunshine to rise for about an hour, which explains their name, Shamsi, after the sun. In the meantime, the ladies build a fire under the bread oven to get it smoking hot. The dough, you remember, is really wet. Because it's been in the sun, it now has a crust on it. And with a stick, they're going around the outside to release the crust on the outside of the bread, so when it goes in the oven, the whole thing opens up. I've never seen anybody do this before. Right, oh, they're going to clean the oven, but I'm not quite sure what's happening here. But there's flour going into the base of the oven. Whoa! And burn the flour. The flour catches fire and burns off the dirt, which makes the oven clean and ready to go. Well, from now on, I think I'm going to change the way I clean my barbecue. In go the loaves. The bread is already rising in there, and now it's getting sealed up. And it's going to cook for between 20 minutes and half an hour. In there is bread. The first ever leavened bread is said to have come from here in Egypt. And it's been passed on from generation to generation, and the same process seems to be going on in front of me today. Pretty stunning, I think. Done. Here we go. When you tap bread, you can tell whether it's done or not by the noise it makes. It's like a hollow drum. You're joking. That's boiling hot. Look, just picks it up with her hands. An ancient technique using ancient grain in a house using ancient materials in a modern world. Next time you pick up a loaf of bread from the shop, have a little think about its humble beginnings. Time to eat. Quite amazing, really, invited into somebody's home to make bread. And now I get to eat it with aubergines, beans or fool, some tomatoes, a bit of peppers, some cheese. This is very special. Thank you very much indeed. Wow. The bread is really soft, spongy, almost the texture of a crumpet inside. It's so light. Look how airy it is. It's really very good. This part of my journey has been a real revelation. To Shamsi. I'm in Luxor, unlocking the secrets of the food of the pharaohs. And here at the market, I should find some clues. Luxor local Ibrahim is passionate about traditional Egyptian food, and he's keen to show me a regional speciality that's been used for thousands of years.
This is molokhia. Grows this in Nile, West Bank and East Bank in Luxor. Everyone eat molokhia in the season.
Everybody in Egypt eats this.
Exactly.
Is this a traditional vegetable?
This is tradition for the pharaohs for this Egypt here.
The pharaohs?
Yeah, exactly, pharaohs.
So that's been eaten in Egypt for thousands of years, and I've never heard of it.
Most people will feel this, put in the hot water, boil it all together with onion, and a few minutes, I think it's cooked.
Sounds a bit like spinach soup. Can I eat some raw?
Yes, all this.
I'll give it a go. Oh, no.
Not okay.
No, it's not okay.
Yes.
Now I understand why they cook it, because that is not very pleasant in your mouth. It dries your mouth up completely. It doesn't taste like mint or coriander or even spinach. It's not even metallic in flavour. It's actually quite bland. Well, there you go.
Yeah.
That is something that grows abundant, apparently, on the banks of the Nile. It grows during the hot season, and it cooks really quickly. Ibrahim is taking me to Sofra, the restaurant he works in. Having tasted the molokhia in the market, I'm hoping it's going to be transformed into something a little more tasty. Chef Mohammed is the man who's going to show me how it's done. Hiya.
Hello.
How you doing? So what are we going to make?
Molokhia. It was fried rabbit.
Really?
Yeah.
Sounds delicious.
Yes, okay.
Very good. Okay. First, the rabbit is added to a pot of hot water with onions. Ground coriander and cumin is added.
After half an hour, then it's finished.
So whilst that's cooking, we start preparing the molokhia. The leaves are picked, washed, and chopped. Okay. It's that chopping parsley, and it's gone quite mulch-like. Next, chopped garlic is fried in some oil.
First coriander with garlic.
Okay.
Okay.
Coriander and garlic.
Yeah. And a little bit cumin.
Okay. Now, stock from the rabbit pot is added to the fried garlic.
It's now finished number one. Like this here. Okay.
There seems to be two processes going here. The first one is the base, garlic, softened, cumin and coriander seeds, a little bit of stock from that rabbit. Now we've got more of the rabbit stock in a separate pan, and that separate pan, by the looks of it, will be used to cook that green vegetable, that molokhia. In goes the molokhia. The reason the rabbit is being cooked and being cooked like that before it's being fried is not for the rabbit, it's for the stock. It's for the stock to cook the vegetable in to give it the flavour. Very clever. The cooked garlic and spices are then added to the molokhia.
In my house, I eat molokhia. Maybe every day.
Do you?
Yeah. Very nice here. Like this.
I'll make you strong.
Yeah, very strong.
Yeah, that's good. The rabbit is pan-fried. Salt and pepper is added along with more ground coriander and ground cumin. In goes fresh garlic. And finally, chopped tomatoes and even more ground coriander to finish off. What's really struck me whilst I've been here in Luxor is how important bread truly is. This bread, Shamsi, which means the sun, and of course sun giving life, and of course the green of the verdant banks of the Nile. You know, it's a lot richer, a lot greener, a lot more opulent than I expected to be. Bread, of course, Give it a dip. The flavour of that stock coming from that rabbit, very similar to chicken, has made it really, really rich. Flavour of garlic running through it, cumin and coriander. It's delicious. It is like a very good bowl of spinach soup. Popeye, eat your heart out. Bit of rabbit. Oh, look, it's all lovely and tender because it's been boiled first. The rabbit's okay. The molokhia is definitely the star. Cheers. I'm picking up some ingredients for a dish of my very own, inspired by the riches of this ancient city. Luxor has been a true inspiration to me, and I'm going to use lots of things that I've seen along the way. I'm going to make chicken, spiced aubergine, and my Egyptian toasted cheese sandwich. So I've got some chickens here which have been boned and flattened, but the skin is still on. So to flavour it, a little bit of oil, lots of za'atar. Za'atar is dried wild thyme. If you can get za'atar, fabulous. Otherwise, dried thyme will work. And a good sprinkling of salt. And a squeeze of lemon. It may look like a lime, but that is a lemon. And now for the important bit. Take a knife, a sharp knife, and stab it a number of times. The skin has now little tiny holes in it so it doesn't shrink so quickly. But also, all the flavour goes underneath the skin and goes into the flesh. Chicken in the pan, skin side down, and a little bit more olive oil across the top. After a bit of raw chicken, wash your hands before you get on with the next bit. So whilst the chicken cooks, I'm going to make spiced aubergine. Into the bowl goes tahini and lemon juice. Give it a stir. It'll go firm like concrete. Add it to that a little bit of water to slacken it. The tahini mixture should be more of a paste. The aubergines here are fantastic. So you take an aubergine and either roast it for a very long time in an oven, about half an hour, or put it over flame and toast it. And they end up like this. They look a bit shriveled and as if they're no good to anybody, but what's inside is this smoky, wonderful, rich aubergine puree. So just split the aubergine down the middle, careful none of the black ash falls inside, and then open it up. Take a spoon, start from the top, and very gently scrape the inside flesh out of the aubergine. Look at that. It's almost like clotted cream, it's so thick. Time to turn over the chicken. You'll see the crispy skin, exactly how I want it to be. Whilst that cooks, I'm going to finish off my spiced aubergine. The board is fine, don't clean it. Let that little bit of residue from the outside of the aubergine stay there. Bring it together and just gently pull it apart with your fingers and a spoon. Now needs to be seasoned. Dry roasted cumin and coriander, and a good amount, and a squeeze of lemon. Chase away the pips, and a sprinkling of salt. So, with my aubergine puree, I'm going to put some chickpeas as well, to give it a bit of texture. Take some chickpeas which are cooked, and in your hand, just give them a nice little squash. Tinned chickpeas are absolutely fine if you don't want to cook your own. Mix it all together, and then into my tahini. And add some chopped basil to finish it off. My chicken's cooked all the way through. Take it out of the pan and put it onto a plate to rest. It needs to rest because there's lots going on. As it's cooking, there's lots of water molecules going around. And if you don't let it rest, as you cut it open, all the moisture comes out. So let it sit gently, and it'll be wonderful and moist. What I'm left with now is 2 lots of what I will call flavour residue. The flavour residue from my aubergine on the board, and the flavour residue from my chicken in the pan. All that flavour residue is going to go to make my version of a toasted cheese sandwich. Take 2 slices of bread and rub the bread all the way over that board. That's the inside of the sandwich. Take some cheese, fresh cheese. You can use goat's cheese or sheep's milk cheese. I suppose you could even use cream cheese if you wanted to with a little bit of salt and pepper. The Pan's still hot from the chicken. So you take the piece of bread and drop it in. And turn it over straight away so you get the residue from the chicken on both sides. That's Johnny Torode's Egyptian toasted cheese sandwich. This sort of thing just makes me happy. Sit and toast, and as soon as it starts to smoke, turn it over. Look at that, all crispy. And now to mix it all together and to put the dish on a plate. To serve, spoon plenty of the spiced aubergine on the plate, the juicy chicken, and then the slice of lovely crispy toasted sandwich. A bit of fresh herb. Lastly, a dribble of olive oil. And there you have it. My chicken with spiced aubergine, chickpeas, and a toasted Egyptian cheese sandwich. A letter from Luxor. I have been absolutely blown away by Luxor because this river has fed this verdant land for thousands of years. And out of it, some of the most humble food I've eaten, but also some of the most delicious.